Hey guys, Happy New Year. I'm going to show you how to make this e-commerce website, otherwise known as an online store, in 2019. It looks fantastic, it's seamless, we can accept payments, and it's a beautiful user experience. Just follow me step by step and you'll be able to make this online store within a couple of hours using WordPress, WooCommerce, and the Storefront theme, which is their main theme. So let me do a demonstration here. This looks fantastic. I can add this to cart. I can view the cart and then check out, pay by PayPal, or use my credit card, which I'll do right now and show you a live transaction. I can make this payment using my PayPal account as a customer, or like most customers will do, with a credit or debit card. Okay, I'm going to enter all this information. I'm going to blur my screen and then hit the continue button. Okay, that's done. I've made the payment and this is my own PayPal account from a seller's point of view, and here's the transaction here that I can see from the payment I've just made through my store. So we're going to show you how to set all of this up. Here's something else that's pretty cool. Your e-commerce store will be able to change images based on the option selected, just like that. And it's going to be easy to set up and it looks fantastic. Here it is on a mobile phone as well. You can do everything you did on a desktop. Your customers will be able to shop on their mobiles, add things to cart, view cart, and continue on the checkout journey without leaving the couch. They can apply coupons and proceed to checkout as they normally would. So the mobile function works perfectly as well. It's 100% responsive and you don't need to do anything additional. Everything to build this e-commerce website is contained in this one tutorial. So guys, get ready. This is going to be amazing. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions and we'll be more than happy to help you out. Watch this through to the end because we're going to show you cool things such as adding coupons, configuring inspiration page with images and stuff like that, and it's going to be really cool. Here is a list of notable WordPress users. WordPress is a content management system used by more than 70% of worldwide websites, and there's some huge names here: Forbes, eBay, Jay-Z, Reuters, massive names that use WordPress. So we're going to be combining WordPress with something called WooCommerce. Both of them go hand in hand to work on the WordPress platform. So WooCommerce, as it says here, is an e-commerce platform for WordPress, and it's a really easy way to set up and start selling your products online. So you can start selling in your country or you can go global. If you go to the Storefront framework, you'll see a theme called Storefront, and this is the theme that's built with WooCommerce, and it's the standard theme. You'll see WooCommerce and Storefront going hand in hand, and that's the theme we're going to use to set up your website. And when I say theme, I mean design. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do is get you online. Once you're online, I'm going to show you how to install WordPress. Once you've installed WordPress, we're going to install WooCommerce, and then we're going to add products, and then we're going to configure payments. Very, very simple process. If you have any questions along the way, please do ask in the comments below. So folks, the first thing we're going to do is get online, because for any e-commerce website, of course, you need to get online first. In the description of this video is a link that will take you to our eMediaCoach website. This is a page for our old demo, but I'm going to create a new one and link to that in the description below. And what it will serve as is a one-page checklist for everything you need, quick links that you need, any downloads. And I'm also going to add a frequently asked questions section, so it's easy for you to see things that other people have asked and all of that stuff. So anyway, go down to that page. Go and click on the hosting, get a 60% off link there, and it will take you to a page on the HostGator website. And I'll explain what that is in a second. It will either take you to this page here or it will take you to the main HostGator landing page. Either one is fine, but just make sure you first go to our checklist and then start there. Once you're on this page, just click on web hosting. Now, HostGator is one of the world's most well-known hosting companies. Hosting is where your website's files are stored. So it's what allows a website to be viewed 24/7. It's where all the images and text and design will be stored. Whereas the domain name, which is your business.com name, is actually just the address, not the contents behind it. And I'll show you how to get both very easily right now with HostGator. They've got 24/7 support, and I personally have been using them all the way back since about 2004. There are a couple of different plans here. We don't need the business plan. The baby plan will give you unlimited domains. The hatchling plan will give you a single domain. The domain is your website's address. That is your .com domain name or .net, whatever you choose to register. I recommend the hatchling simply because if it's your first time making a website, you'll only need to register a single domain, and you can always upgrade later on if you would like to. If you went through the link that I provided, that link gives you a 60% off discount. So go ahead and select one of the plans. I recommend the hatchling, it's the cheapest as well. What you need to do here is enter your requested domain name. I've already purchased mine through HostGator and it's called thestoredemo.com. If the domain that you want is already taken, it will appear like this. So if that's the case, you'll just have to enter another store name, whatever your e-com store is going to be called. Once you've done that, it'll be added to your cart. Just so you know, a .com, a .net are both very common and professional extensions, so either one is fine. So select the one you want, go down. You can subscribe for a package that's up to 3 years. The longer you subscribe for, the cheaper it is, of course, and I'll show you how to get a discount on any one of these packages, even more than what's shown on the screen right now. So what we'll do now is just go down to the end, go to coupon code and type in the coupon online store and hit validate. If you've done that right, you'll notice the price is actually cheaper than what it was just now, and you'll get a whole range of discounts depending on which package you want to choose. So please do use that discount code. And the other option is if you don't want to, so that discount code gives you a discount off your total package, but there's another one, 1 dirty cent, that gives you a discount off just the first month, but then you'll be rebilled at the regular rate after the first month. So it'll just give you your first month for free, but the rest will be at the regular rate. So I really recommend that you take advantage of the biggest discount possible, which is this one here, online store. Now, after you've selected the package you want, I normally go for a 12 or 24 month period because it's very reasonable, and you can also cancel at any time and get a refund off the remainder of your term. Just keep that in mind as well, a little tip there. Enter a username, enter your 4-digit PIN, then enter your billing info. I'm just going to blur my screen while I do this. You'll need to enter your first name, last name, address, country, and then credit card details. Okay, now I'll just enter my credit card detail. I'm obviously going to blur my screen. Or you can use PayPal. Once you've done that, just scroll down. There are a few additional services offered here, and I'm going to be really honest, you don't need them. So I'm going to deselect this protect your site from hackers thing. The SSL is included free now, so that's great. You don't need to add this. You can set up your email once you've got your hosting account ready. There's no need to pay for Google Cloud email. Your new email will be whatever you want at whatever domain that you're registering, for example, yourstore.com. These backups, there's another way to back up your site that doesn't involve a fee. So I've got that in one of my other tutorials, and we don't need this one here. So we don't need any of these upsells. All we need is the hosting package, because that's what we need to get our site online. Just check everything's in order, and once you're happy with that, go down, accept the terms and conditions, and click Checkout Now. When you use one of our links on our website, just for full disclosure, we receive a small referral credit from HostGator. This doesn't cost you a cent. If anything, you're getting a big discount off your hosting package, but this credit does help us pay for these tutorials and the costs associated with running this YouTube channel. So we sincerely appreciate your support behind that. So hit checkout when you're ready. After you create your account, you'll receive an email that looks like this from HostGator, and it'll contain your account details such as your control panel URL, which I'll show you what to do with in a second, your username, the domain you registered, and your password, as well as name servers. If you bought a domain from somewhere else and you need to connect it to your HostGator hosting, you'll have to update that with these name servers. But if you've done everything like I have from HostGator to get your online store online, you won't have to do anything else. So if you don't receive this email, just check your junk folder as well, because the next step is to log into your control panel using this link here and then install WordPress. So I'll show you how to do that now. So let's click on this control panel link. And then all you need to do is copy and paste the username and password found in this email. So that username and that password, just make sure it doesn't have any spaces at the beginning or the end, or it won't match up exactly and you won't be able to log in. So just copy and paste those and log into your account. And then log in. So there you go. This is known as your cPanel to your hosting account. You really won't need to access this too often, but for now, we just needed to install WordPress and then continue on with this process. The next thing you need to do is install and log in to WordPress. WordPress is the content management system. It is the platform that we're going to use to manage the content on your entire e-commerce website. And it's a really easy to use platform. Your online store will be really easy to manage. So the way to do that is, if you see something like this, build a new WordPress site link in your cPanel once you log in, click on that. Alternatively, if you don't, go down and find something called Quick Install. And then once you click on that, you will find that same link that takes you to WordPress. So either way, get onto the WordPress installation page. There are options to install it for you, and we are not going to be needing that at all. We want to install it for free. It will be absolutely for free, and there's no need to pay anybody for that. So what you need to do here is select your domain. In your drop down here, you'll have just one domain because you'll only have just created your account. But for me, I'll have multiple, so I'll just need to click on that and select my domain. For our online store, of course, we're using a domain called thestoredemo.com. There it is. Leave this directory field blank. The reason is we want to install WordPress on this domain, not on a subfolder of the domain. So leave that blank, then click next. Give your e-commerce website a title. This can all be changed later, so don't stress. Put in an admin username and your first name and last name, and also an admin email. That is your email address. Now that's important because if you ever lose the password or you need to reset your password, it will be sent to this email address over here. So make sure that's correct. All of this other stuff is changeable later on, but you do need to add it for now. You'll need to keep this enabled or automatically create a new database for this installation. And yes, accept the terms and service agreement. This is free, it's not costing anything. All it's doing is installing the WordPress platform onto your hosting account so you can manage your entire online store. Click install when that's all done. A couple of pop-up screens may appear, ignore them. All we're concerned with here is the progress of this installation. And when that's done, you'll see something like this to let you know that the installation of WordPress is complete, and it will give you your username that you added on the previous screen, and also your password, which will change later. For now, you need to copy this and just paste it in a notepad on your computer. So just paste that somewhere so it's easy to find your login details, because as soon as you click on this login button, you're going to lose that information. Alternatively, right-click login and go to a new tab so you don't lose this information. So click on the login button when you're done. You're going to see this screen here, and in this screen you'll need to add your username and password. This is the login to your WordPress dashboard. It is the login to the management of your entire online store. So it's very important, this one here. A lot of you watching this will not see this screen as soon as you click login. And the reason is you've only just purchased your hosting account, and it takes some time, sometimes 24 to 48 hours for your hosting account to be enabled and for your domain, that is your website domain.com, and your hosting to be linked up. So most of you will actually not see this screen straight away. What I recommend is either one, get in touch with me if you're confused about what to do. You'll probably see a blank screen. Or secondly, go to hostgator.com, and this is the preferred option. Go to hostgator.com, click on their live chat, and then enter your details. If you don't know any of this, don't worry, just say new customer. Let them know that you've purchased. Give them the details of your purchase that you'll see in your email here, and they will let you know what the status of your account is. Once that account is activated and your hosting is linked up to your domain, don't forget your domain, your address is separate from where the files are stored. So once they're linked up, they will advise you or expedite that process. And once that's all done, then when you go to yourwebsite.com/wp-admin, so that's the thing you need to remember, yourwebsite/wp-admin. Once you go to that URL and everything's activated, that is when you'll see this screen here. It's just a little bit of a hurdle to get to this screen, but trust me, it'll be all worth it. So I recommend writing that down as well. Your website, whatever it is, .com, .net, whatever it may be, /wp-admin. That's your login page. If you're confused about that, please do send me an email at hello@eMediaCoach.com, and I'll let you know what to do next. So if that page is appearing for you, just enter the username and password, and log in. And there you have it, folks. This is your WordPress dashboard. This is the engine behind your entire e-commerce website and everything you'll do to set up, manage, and maintain your online store. I'll show you exactly how to use this platform step by step. When you first access your WordPress dashboard, I tell all of my students to do some basic website configuration, just some basic setup, and I'll take you through exactly what you need to do. Firstly, if you go down to the settings area and hover over that and go to General, you'll see the site title. You can change this to anything you want, and this is your website title, so whatever your online store is called. You can also add a tagline if you wish. And then at the bottom you'll see a button called Save Changes. Now what I recommend to all my students in this WordPress address URL and site address URL to add a www. It's just a personal preference of mine, and it's definitely not mandatory. All that means is that in the browser it will appear as www.yourwebsite.com rather than what you're seeing here. But this is something you've got to be very careful with. So make sure you're entering it after the 2 slashes and before your domain name. If you do that incorrectly, it will screw up and you'll have to delete your entire installation and start again. So just be very, very careful with this step. After the 2 slashes, www. Then your domain name, and make sure you also do it in this field here. Oops. There. Double check, triple check that to make sure it's right. The email address here is the email address that will be used, as it says here, for admin purposes. For example, if you lose your password, that's where a notification will be sent, so make sure that's correct. When you do that step, click Save Changes, and it will actually log you out automatically, and it will ask you to log in again. Only because the URL has now changed. So let me just get that again. Perfect. Okay, the next thing I tell all of my students to do is go down to plugins. A plugin is an additional feature or piece of functionality that is added or bolted on to your base WordPress installation. All of the notifications you're seeing here, there's a lot of clutter here, and a lot of that is because of plugins. And we really want to start with a clean installation. And so what I need you to do is go to plugins, hover over that, go to installed plugins. Now some plugins are great, some are very useful. For example, there's a plugin for image galleries, there's a plugin for changing the URL of things, there's plugins for all sorts of things, and they're very useful. But I just want you to remove all of the clutter for now. So what I need you to do is click on the box here that will select everything. Bulk actions, deactivate, apply. Or you can go through individually and deactivate each one individually. Then go back, bulk actions, and delete, apply. Or again, you can delete each one individually. The reason I'm doing this is because we don't need most of this stuff, and it's just adding clutter. And I like to start with a clean installation. Perfect. So all the plugins have been deactivated, then deleted. Next, I need you to go and hover over posts and click on old posts. By default, when WordPress is installed, you'll get a couple of posts and also a page that is created by default. That will look something like this. So what you need to do, by the way, your website is live. It's live to the public. So what you need to do is just go and click on the trash button. And then in the trash can, you'll be able to hover over that and delete permanently. The same thing for pages. If you hover over pages and go to all pages, you'll notice that there's a couple of things installed by default. Just move all of that to trash. And then delete them permanently. Very simple. The next thing is very important. Hover over settings and go to permalinks. The permalink is basically the link structure of a page or a post on your website. What I need you to do is delete everything. Actually, first click on custom structure, then delete everything in custom structure. Then the way I want you to structure your permalinks, and I'll explain why in a second, is first click on category and then click on post name and save. Now, whenever you create a post, for example, a blog post, your URL structure will be your website / the category that post is in / the name of that post. It's very clean, it's very clear. It's good for users who are looking at your website, but it's also good for search engines to read what your page is about, as opposed to something messy like this. Your website / the date / the name of the post. It's not a very nice way to structure your links. So this is best practice, and it's something I highly recommend. When you've done that, save changes, and that is all we need to do in terms of a basic configuration and site setup. And so now what you've got is a clean installation of your website. Your website is live to the public. This is what it looks like. You can go to your domain right now and this is what it will look like. We will show you step by step how to set it all up. One more thing actually, you'll need to go to reading. Actually, I think it's in privacy. No, definitely reading. Make sure discourage search engines is not enabled. We want to encourage search engines to find our website. It's okay if you're building it and you still haven't finished, but you want to get that process started where search engines are able to find and index your e-commerce website. The next thing we need to do is install and activate WooCommerce. It is going to be the engine behind your e-commerce website, and it will allow you to do everything from set up products to configuring customization options, and of course getting payments from your sales. And so it's pretty simple. WooCommerce actually have a setup wizard, but the first thing you need to do to install and activate WooCommerce is go to plugins, hover over that, and then click on add new. Then search for WooCommerce. It should be this one here that's got more than 1 million installations and more than 3,000 reviews. So click on the install now button. Like I said, a plugin is something that adds extra functionality to a basic WordPress installation. So this is a great example. So click on install now. And then click activate. Perfect. So automatically you should see this WooCommerce setup wizard to set up your online store. What it will do is take you through the various steps to set that up for you. So it contains the store setup, the payment setup, shipping, and other things to get your basic store settings configured and ready. So let's just follow it through. Where is your store based? Mine will be in the US. Obviously just pick from that list based on where your store is. Enter your store address or your address in here. You can use a dummy address if you would like to for now. Okay. Okay, I've just put in some dummy information there for myself for now for this demonstration. Select the currency you want to accept payments in. What kind of products do you expect to sell? You can select physical or digital or both. A digital product is one that, for example, somebody pays for and then downloads a document or a PDF or something like that. It's a digital online product, such as an ebook, whereas a physical product, of course, physical goods that you'll ship. Let's just say we're planning on selling both for now. And then you've got the option of letting WooCommerce improve usage tracking. That's optional. Let's go. Okay, the payment screen. You've got a couple of different options. For accepting payments. Now, if you've got Stripe set up, you can actually accept payments via Stripe. You can also accept payments via PayPal. And if you haven't got a PayPal address already, I recommend you sign up for one and sign up for a business PayPal account. For now, I'm going to demonstrate this tutorial using PayPal. So I'm going to disable Stripe, leave PayPal enabled, and then in this field here, you'll need to enter your PayPal URL. If you haven't got, your PayPal email address, that is the email address associated with your PayPal account, so that when somebody makes a payment for a product, you receive that into your PayPal account. It's very simple to use PayPal. If you haven't got that, you can skip that for now. Let's continue. I'll show you how to configure the details of that later, by the way, so don't stress at the moment. Okay, shipping. We've created 2 shipping zones for the US and for the rest of the world. Below, you can set a flat rate, blah, blah, blah. You can change all of this later as well. So shipping zone, US, you can offer a flat rate or free shipping. Let's say we want to offer a flat rate, set a fixed price to cover shipping costs. Yes, that's enabled. Let's say I'll charge $12 for that. Locations not covered by your other zones. Set a fixed price to cover shipping costs. Perhaps it's more expensive for you to ship to those areas, so maybe it's 15. Now, 12 in your own country is probably, depending on what the product is, it may be high or low. You just work out what your shipping costs will be approximately, but we can also amend this later on. So nothing we're doing here is set in stone. If you want to offer live rates for a specific carrier, for example UPS, you can also activate an extension for WooCommerce. I recommend you do that a bit later, or right click that and open that in a new tab to explore that option. We'll print shipping labels at home. We'll use whatever you normally use. So we'll use pounds for weight and inches for dimensions. You know what? I'm going to use kilograms. I know this is not, doesn't make sense because we're in the US, but just as an example. Okay, so now this is all the recommended plugins or items, additional items that they recommend for WooCommerce stores. The first one is the Storefront theme. This is the theme, in other words, the design that we're going to be using that you saw in the demo at the very beginning of this video for your online store. So yes, we want to be using the Storefront theme. Keep that ticked. Automated taxes allows you to save time by adding tax rates for your particular location. Now, I'm not a tax advisor. I don't know how much tax you should charge, but that's all configurable within WooCommerce. And also MailChimp. MailChimp is a great way for you to add customers to your email address book, and you can therefore follow them up with other marketing offers and promotions. It's basically a marketing campaign tool. I won't be covering that in this video, but in a future video. What I'm going to do is just deselect MailChimp for now, actually, because I just want to take you through the basic setup. So let's continue. Connect your store to Jetpack. So what you need to do here is install the Jetpack service, and it's free. You just need to click on continue with Jetpack. Next, it'll ask you to create an account for Jetpack. You can enter your username, your email, username and password, or you can connect it up with your Google account. That's a quicker option, but for now I'm just going to enter a username and password. My password is not strong enough. Let's try that. And that will just process as it's completing the setup. So there we go, we're nearly ready. Here you can subscribe to some tips and all that kind of thing if you would like to. You can start creating a product, but I'm not going to show you how to do that from here. I'm going to show you how to do that from your WordPress dashboard. So let's go and visit our dashboard by clicking here, or you can go to your website /wp-admin to get there. And I'll show you now how to start adding products to your online store. During the WooCommerce setup, we installed something called Storefront. Storefront is the theme, otherwise known as the design of your e-commerce website. And it may not be clear, so I just want to reiterate something to you, just so it's super clear. So if you go to Appearance and click on Themes, you'll notice that you've now got your active theme, that is Storefront. If you by any chance don't have that, all you need to do is go to Add New Theme, search for Storefront and activate that. But you should have this if you followed the steps. The other ones you see here are the default themes that WordPress installs. So now that this new theme has been installed, if you visit your web page, you'll see that it already starts to look different. So what we need to do now is start installing or configuring the home page for your online store. What you need to do is go to Appearance and go down to Storefront. Click on that. Okay, so design your store. We've got WooCommerce set up. Let's start customizing it. Okay, we want to enable apply Storefront homepage template, and we want to add example products. That's perfect because we'll now see a sample of what our real products will look like on our homepage. So let's go. That'll just take a few seconds to load. Perfect. So now this customize area over here allows you to control what you want laid out on your website. So we don't need the tour. I'll show you that later. So this is your current homepage. It's set up the homepage, and it's also added some sample items just so you can see what it will look like when you create your products. So if I click the publish button now, and then go to my website, there you go. You'll see that it's already taking shape. And now obviously when you start adding in your categories over here or your products over here, this page will update. And you can also configure what you want it to show. You don't have to show all of this stuff. You don't have to show new in or recommended or on sale, but this is a great example of your homepage layout. So as you can see, we're making some fantastic progress here. The next thing we need to do is add our logo because it's not showing up at the moment. So back to Customize and Site Identity. Let's select the logo. Upload files. Select your logo file from your computer. Now I'm going to assume here that you've already got a logo that you want to upload. If not, in the description, what I'll do is help you out and point you to a resource that I recommend for getting a logo made quickly and effectively for your online store. So for now, I'm just going to go to my computer and drag and drop the logo on the page here, and that will upload to what's called the media library. Then click select, and you can crop that if you like, and crop, and then publish. Now if I reload the website, you'll see the logo in its place. It's starting to really take shape. Again, if you don't have a logo ready to go, please check the description. I'll put in a bit of a detail around where you can get one made pretty effectively. And I recommend that stuff to all of my students and my clients. So I'll put that detail in the description below. Something else you should just check if your homepage is not appearing yet is in your customize area, go down to homepage settings and just make sure that your homepage is displaying a static page and you've selected home as your homepage and save that. So that's just in case your homepage isn't displaying. Now I'd like to take you through how to customize your homepage. So at the moment, this is what it looks like. This is all the demo default content when you installed Storefront. So if you click on one of those things, you can actually see what your pages will look like in detail, and it looks absolutely fantastic at the moment, to be honest. And when making an e-commerce website, it's a cool idea to have a slider on your homepage, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So back into your dashboard, what you need to do to add a slider is go into plugins and click add new. We're going to be installing a new plugin. We're going to be adding on this functionality so that we can have a nice looking slider on your online store homepage. So what you need to do is search for a plugin called Storefront Add Slider. And this is the one here. So install that one and activate. Once you've done that, you should be able to go into Appearance and Customize. And then if you scroll down to the homepage settings, you should see this box here where it says you can insert your meta slider, smart slider, or any other slider shortcode here. So what we need to do now is install a slider and the images, and then we'll add the shortcode. So to do that, just close this little box here. What we need to do is add another plugin. So add new and search for a plugin called Slider Ultimate. This is the one here by these guys. Install now and then activate that one. And what you'll see after you activate that plugin is a thing called Ultimate Slider in the sidebar. So let's click on that and add new. Now we're going to add some new slides, and then we're going to put them on our homepage. Okay, so enter a title for your slide, and keep in mind this title will appear on your slide itself. Then go down and click on the featured image and select the image from your computer that you want to display as the slider. So when you click here, it'll ask you to select the file from your computer, or alternatively you can go to your file on your computer and drag and drop over here. So that's what I'll do. I've just got another screen here. So I'll just drag and drop my first slider image and then set as featured image. You can also add a button and some button text. And you can link that somewhere as well. And in this part here, it's saying to use the featured image over here. So let's click publish when that's done. Okay, I'm just going to add a couple more slides as well, just very quickly. Next, what we need to do is we need to set a category for each of the slides we created. So let's add a new category and let's call it home and add that category. And then just update again. And I'm going to go to the other slides I created and select that same category because we want them all associated with the home page. So here, home, that one's already done, and there we go. Now that we've all assigned the sliders to the home page category, what we need to do is go to the slider categories tab over here on the left, and it will give us a thing called a shortcode for those 3 sliders. What we need to do is copy that entire shortcode, including the brackets, and once you've copied it, go to Appearance, then Customize, and then down to Home Page Settings, and we'll need to paste that shortcode in here. And you should see that load onto the page. So there you go, there is our lovely looking home page slider. Click Publish when you're done. The reason that first one was blank was because we didn't assign the image correctly. So if that happens to you, all you need to go is go back into that particular slider, and ensure you've set a featured image. So I'll set that and then, yep, update. And then give it a couple of seconds to load, and then let's check out our online store to see what that looks like. Absolutely perfect. That's starting to really look good now. So here we are, here's what our website looks like with the slider in place. Just a quick note, as you can see there's this timer bar that's loading, and we can actually customize or get rid of that if you want to by going into Ultimate Slider and Settings. And in the Basic Settings tab, you've got a few settings here. You can autoplay the slideshow, which it's currently doing. The slides are changing every 6 seconds. The aspect ratio is something you can change as well. And you can get rid of this timer bar completely if you don't like that, and I don't, so I'm going to get rid of that. You can also change the dots down here, but I think they're quite good, so I'll leave that. And I'll just put in here to link the buttons to the same window and save that. So now when I refresh, you should be able to see that. There you go, the timer bar is gone. Too easy. Last but not least, if you'd like the slider to be full width and take up the entire width of the page, what you need to do is go into your appearance and customize. Scroll down to your home page settings and check this button here, show front page slider on all pages. So that will then make it a full width, and it'll also show that slider on all pages of your online store. So hit publish, and when that saves, let's just refresh so I can show you what that looks like. Perfect, that looks pretty cool. What will happen then, you'll get this module under it as well with the slider, so you'll get 2 sliders, so you need to remove this bit here. The way to do that is then go back and now go into homepage control and deselect this thing here. Once you deselect and publish that, that thing underneath will disappear. And there you go, you'll have easily created a beautiful looking slider for your online store. Of course, now if you don't want that slider to appear on all pages, you'll obviously have to go back and remove that setting over here. So that's absolutely your choice. It's completely up to you. The next step to building your online store is I want to show you how to control all of the modules that appear over here on the home page. So as you can see, by default we've got a category for new things, for we recommend, fan favorites, on sale, bestsellers, and we can manage that on our home page. The way to do that is to install a plugin called Homepage Control. So go to plugins and add new, and search for Homepage Control. That's the one here by Woo Themes. So install that one and activate. Once that's activated, you can go to Appearance and then Customize. You should see a new section here called Homepage Control. So click on that and you'll notice that everything is enabled. So as an example, if I disabled product categories, so this is our category section over here. If I disable that, you'll see that particular module is gone from the home page. Similarly, so I want to keep that, that's pretty good. Similarly, if I choose that I don't really want something like fan favorites, then I can find and disable the appropriate tab, and fan favorites I believe should be popular products. Yep, it is. So there you have a way to easily enable or disable what kind of not just categories, but what kind of subcategories you want to show. These items are generated automatically, and you'll see that later on. For example, when I set up a product that has a sale associated with it, it will automatically come up in the on sale section. There you go. There's how to customize the homepage sections. Thirdly, we can also customize this section over here. So if I just click on the cross there, I won't save any changes for now. And I go to pages and all pages. You should see a few pages that have been automatically set up by WooCommerce. Let's click on the home page. And this title and text correlates to this stuff over here. So I can change that, or I can get rid of the title altogether. And press update, and when that finishes loading, you should be able to refresh your website and see that take effect. Perfect. Now the next step in learning how to make an e-commerce website is of course adding all of your various products to it. So you've already seen that there are a few categories that are set up by default and also some products that are set up by default. But now I'm going to show you how you can actually add this stuff. So you can load up your e-commerce website with products and start making sales quickly. So to do that, back into your dashboard, if you hover over products and go to categories, what we're going to do first is configure these higher level categories first before we start setting up products that fit into each category. So a good way to do this is brainstorm what categories your products belong in. For example, is it clothing? Is it accessories? Is it gadgets, etc., etc. We can see by default there's some stuff set up here by WooCommerce, but we're going to ignore that for now. And what we're going to do is create new categories. So go down here and Actually, first you'll have to put in some details about your new category. So I'm going to set mine up in 3 categories. One will be called travel. Slug, that's a URL friendly or search engine friendly version of your category. So that's pretty clear. It can be travel as well. A parent category is if it's a subcategory of one of these already created parent categories, which it's not. It's its own category at the moment. You don't need to put in a description. I'm just going to double check how WooCommerce set up these other ones just to double confirm. Accessories, no parent. Display type is default. Okay, perfect. And it's got a thumbnail. Okay. So display type, default, and thumbnail. The thumbnail is the image that appears on the home page over here. That's the image over there. So let's upload an image for that particular category, for our category called travel. If you've got one on your computer, just upload a file and select it from your computer, or you can drag and drop, which I'm going to do now. I've got a file on my other screen here. That will upload. And then click on Use Image and click Add New Category. So that's done. It didn't really give me a notification that it was done, but it was done, as you can see there. So if I refresh the site, let's see if that's done anything to the home page. Not yet. So that's another setting. And it probably hasn't appeared because there's no products assigned to that particular one yet. So let's put in our other categories. So gadgets. Add. And the last one we want to add is clothing. There we go. And just as a note, if you've got products that are already assigned to a category, as it says here, deleting a category does not delete products in that category. Instead, products that were only assigned to the deleted category are set to uncategorize, so they won't delete the products. Once you add all of your categories to your online store and you refresh your page, you might notice that the categories are not reflected on the front end. We can't see them yet. And the reason for that is, and this is the final step, firstly, make sure that each of your categories have products assigned to them. Now, we haven't shown you how to add products yet, but we will in the next step of this tutorial. So this is something you'll need to come back to. But firstly, you'll have to make sure there are products assigned to them, which you'll learn in the next 10 minutes. And then once you do that, just come back to products and the categories section, and then see these three little lines here. You'll just have to click on them and drag and drop them to the top of the order in front of the ones that are already displaying. Alternatively, just delete these ones that are just set up as a demo, and then these will become the obvious priority when you do that. So once you rearrange that, and then it'll automatically save, you need to just press Control and F5 if you're using a Windows, or do a hard refresh of your browser, and that will update. And if you want to change the order in which they appear, you simply just change that order over here. And that's updating, done. And there we are. So once again, you'll have to make sure products are assigned to that category before that works. So I'm going to get into that next. How do we add products? Now the next step to creating your e-commerce website is to add your products to your store. One is called a simple product, and that is a product that doesn't have any variations. For example, if it's a camera, it's a particular model of a camera, but it doesn't have any variations. It doesn't come in different colors or sizes. As opposed to perhaps a t-shirt. A t-shirt can come in different colors and also different sizes. That's called variations, and that's called a variable product. So there's two types of products: simple products that don't have variations, and variable products that have different permutations and combinations. So I'm going to show you how to set up both. For simple products, let's start with that. So hover over products and click on add new. Give your product a name. So let's start with a camera. There are two areas where you can put a description, in this section here and also in the product short description, and I'll show you the difference. So I've got some random text here. What I'm going to do is just add some random text in both, but at the beginning of this I'm going to call this the description or long description example, and in front of this I'll add short description example. And you'll see where they both appear when I save this product. So now back to the product details. Give your product a price. Note that you've got to use the price without the monetary symbol. You will have set that in your WooCommerce settings. You can also add a sale price if you like, and you can schedule that sale to begin as well. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, and by the way, ensure for simple products that you've actually got that selected. Then in the next tab, you can put in a SKU if you've got a SKU for managing stock. You can also manage stock and say how many pieces you've got remaining. You can now allow back orders, you can show a low stock threshold, etc., etc. In shipping, you can put the weight of the product, the dimensions, the shipping class. You can link to other products on your online store that you've set up already as an upsell or a cross-sell. Check out my channel. I've actually made a different video on this. It's pretty cool. And attributes, it's not something you'll need for a simple product. This purchase note is an additional note to send to the customer after purchase. So there's quite a few options here that are available at your disposal, really. You've got to choose what's best for you and your store. Go to product image. You'll need to add an image for a product. And set product image. When you go to an e-commerce website, you'll probably see an image that is the featured image for a product, and you'll also see other images from the product from different angles and all of that stuff. You add all of those different angles in the product gallery and you'll be able to switch through them. Now I haven't got different images for this particular one, but I'll add some random images just to show you as an example. It's a really bad example, I'm sorry, but it will have to do for now. So let me just add a few random things in. Obviously not the same product, but you get the point. And add to gallery. Last but not least, select the category that your product belongs in. In this case, it's a camera and it will fall within our gadgets category. And then when you're done, click publish. So let's check out that product page. There we go, that's what our product page looks like. It looks sensational. Here is the short description example. That is the description down here. And down here is the long description, the stuff up here. We've got our price, we've got our discounted price, we've got our in stock. Now a customer can add that to cart and continue on to make payment. You can remove this sidebar, but I'll show you how to remove that later. And these variations, like I said, if you click on one of the variations, it will show you that variation like that. It's pretty good. It's really, really clean. And I hope that made sense to you. Next, when you build your e-commerce website, you'll more than likely have some variable products. So I'm going to show you what that is and how you set them up. Like I said before, a variable product is one where there are multiple variations. For example, a t-shirt can be available in multiple sizes, in multiple colors. So let me now show you how to set that up. Give your product a nice title. I'm going to be boring and just put t-shirt. I'll get some dummy text, and this is the long description example. Down here is a short description example. And now to the part that makes this a variable product. Okay, so the product description. Make sure you select variable product from the drop down. You'll see that there are a bunch of different options available. It's a bit different to creating a simple product, but it's not complicated, so just follow along. You can select the tax status and the tax class, which is all configurable within your WooCommerce settings. The inventory, you can set a SKU, manage stock, like I mentioned before, if you want to. Low stock threshold. You can even set your weight, etc., etc., dimensions, your shipping class, link it to other products for upsells and cross sells. And here's the part that makes it a variable product. So what we need to do is add a new custom product attribute. Click on the add button. Give this attribute a name. So let's do color first. Enter some text or attributes by separating values with the pipe icon. Okay, so what we need to do is enter our various colors. So we've got a red t-shirt. We've got to separate these with the pipe. There you go. You'll have to find that on your keyboard. It's just a vertical line. We've got a blue t-shirt. And we've got a black t-shirt. We want these variations to be visible on the product page, and we want them to be used for variation. So I'm going to save these particular attributes. So we've got color, and we can see the details of that. We want to add another variable or attribute. So click add again, and I want to add size. So we've got small, we've got medium, and we've got large, for example. Again, visible on the product page, used for variations, save attributes. So now we've got, in this example, 3 colors and 3 sizes. Obviously for your products, all of this stuff will be different depending on what it is you're selling. So now we should have 6 different variations in total. Why is that? We're going to have a small red, blue, black. Sorry, we'll have 9. We'll have a small red, blue, black, that's 3. A medium red, blue, black, that's 6. And a large red, blue, and black, so that's 9. 3 times 3 will have 9 different variations. Why is that important? Come down here to the variations tab. What we want to do is create variations from all attributes. It's going to create all of those different combinations from everything we've entered in the attribute section. And click go. And hit OK. And give that a few seconds to load. There we go. As I mentioned, we've got 9 variations added, and we can now have a look at those variations. As I said, we've got a red in 3 different sizes, blue and black, and that makes a total of 9 variations. Now the interesting thing here is, if we click the drop down button over here, we can set a SKU for each item. We can select a product image, and I'll do that right now. So there's our red shirt in small. Keep in mind this is a red small. in this case it doesn't matter size. In this case we can't display it on the website, but we'll need to add an image for each one of these variations. So I'll add an image for the 3 red ones, then I'll go in and add an image for the 3 blue ones. And what I'm trying to tell you here is whenever somebody selects on your product page a particular size or color, sorry, I should say in this instance a particular color, the image on the product page will change to represent that. It's very modern, it's very sleek. You'll see that in a sec. And the black t-shirt. Okay, so we've set all the images. I'm going to save just in case something happens. I don't want to lose that update. Alrighty. Now going back into the drop downs, we can set an individual SKU. You can set a price, a sale price if you wish. So you can select stock status, if it's in stock or out of stock, the weight, shipping class, tax class, description. Okay, so let me put a sample red shirt description here and some text. So as you've noticed, all of this stuff is customizable based on each variation that you have of that particular product. You can then add a product image. This is the image that will first appear before anybody selects a variation. And the product gallery, these are other images. Let's select our category, clothing, and publish. Once I've done that, I can have a look at the product page to see how that's been laid out. So you can see our short description example. The shopper has an option to select color and size. Why the other variations are not coming up, I need to research. I'll need to figure out now, because it really should have a drop down with all the different variations. Okay, I figured it out. I haven't put a price for all the other things here, so let me just go ahead and do that. Let's say the reds are $29. Let's say the blue shirts are $25. And let's say the blues are 25 and on sale. Were 25 and on sale for 20. And then let's say the black t-shirts are $35. Just as a pure example, so we can see the variations on the product page. Now let me see if that actually brings up everything we need, or if we need to enter a description as well. Okay, perfect. So now we can see our t-shirt page has a price range depending on the various options. I can choose a red t-shirt in a particular size, and it will tell me the cost of that particular option. I can select a blue t-shirt, which I can see now it's on sale, like we put in. And more importantly, when I switch that, from red to blue, the image changes because I set that image over here. And then the black one changes image, it's $35. So as you can see, that is how to add a variable product to your online store. It's very, very slick, and the way it functions over here on this page is extremely user-friendly. This is as sleek as it really gets. So if you're having an issue with that, let me know and I'll try and help you out. So I've gone ahead and added all the products to my e-commerce website. And when you do the same, you'll probably scroll down your homepage and wonder, how do all the products actually get there? Because we've got a few different sections, as you can see here. So I'm going to take you through exactly what they mean. If you want to customize or remove any of these sections, you can go to Appearance and Customize. And then Homepage Control. Deselect any of these boxes, and for example, we want to get rid of fan favorites. That is the popular products. So that disappears. So it's really up to you what you want to display. But for now, what do all these other sections mean and how do they get there? So the category images are the ones that you set up when you set up your product categories earlier. That's controlled by you. New in is generated automatically. These are the newest products that you add to your e-commerce website. We recommend. These are products where if you go back to your dashboard and then go to your products, all products, you'll see a star over here, featured. If you click that star, that is actually going to become a featured product and appear in the We Recommend section. So that's how you manage what appears in that section there. On sale, these are the items that are generated automatically based on what you've placed on sale as a discount. So for anything that you place on a discount, it will appear on this section here. So that's automated logic. Bestsellers is also automated logic. So your e-commerce site will automatically display the items that have sold the most. So you don't have to change anything there. So that's a brief explanation of what appears on the homepage and why it appears, and ways that you can manage that. So as you can see, when you're creating your online store with WooCommerce and WordPress, a lot of the stuff that appears on the homepage does so with some automated logic. So it's really quite intuitive and functional. At the moment, if you go to one of your product pages, you'll notice that there is a sidebar. You're looking at it over here. If you want to get rid of that, I'll show you how you can do that. So it's up to you. It's up to you if you want to keep that sidebar and put some information about your online store or your address or contact info on that sidebar, but I'll show you how to remove that. And secondly, also add that information to the footer area so it's out of the way but still accessible. So first thing is go to Appearance and then go to Widgets. At the moment, everything in this sidebar section is being reflected over here. So you can see the About This Site area, 2 Find Us areas and a search area. So there's the About This Site, Find Us and Search. Simply you can click on the arrow and update the text, or you can click delete and that will delete that item from the sidebar. Alternatively, you can rearrange this item how it appears in the sidebar, or if you want it to appear in the footer, there's a footer column 1, 2, 3 and 4 over here, and what you can do is drag and drop just like this and just drag it into the footer column, and that will automatically save. And if you update or refresh your page, you should see that take effect. There you go. So it's up to you how you want to customize that. I'll show you a couple of options. What I'll do is I'll delete this one. I want the sidebar empty. I'll delete the search, and the About This Site, perhaps I'll put in the first column defined us, I'll put in the second column. Some information about your online store. Okay, so you can save that information. Now there are some other things that you can utilize here. So in the left hand side, the available widgets section, you can see that you can add the cart to your footer. It will actually display the customer's shopping cart if you would like to. You can display the categories of your product. You can display contact info and a map if you want to configure that. You can also display products by ratings. So it'll display a list of star ratings to filter products in your store. You can also, let me find it. You can display a list of your store's products or product search, or products with recent reviews. And I like this one. Display a list of customers' recently viewed products. So if someone goes to a particular product, for example, a watch, and then browses around your e-commerce store, and they scroll around, at the bottom they'll see their recently visited products. So I will add that in. Let's say there. And of course you can also add in products based on rating, etc., etc. You can also add some social icons if you'd like to do that, and I'll show you how to set that up later. Pretty easy. So there's a whole range of things that you can add. One of the most flexible pieces of content, or one of the flexible widgets, is a text widget. So that one there, and you'll be able to put any text or embed a YouTube video or anything like that. You can also embed a video using this widget here. So essentially, decide if you want something in your sidebar. If not, delete or move it. Add things in your footer column. And maybe I'll put my categories in there as well, in the fourth. And you'll just have to use a bit of trial and error to decide what actually looks good on your website. So at the moment, that looks okay. The structure of it looks okay. We're missing something there, and that is recently viewed products. So let me just see if I can go to a couple of different products. I'll keep browsing around. So there you go, the recently viewed products has now been populated. So that's pretty cool. You can obviously update any of the information here by going to that particular widget and clicking on the down arrow to update it as you need to. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense and adds a bit more space on your product pages now. So if I go to a product page, you can see now that it takes up the full width, and it's no longer got the sidebar. For your e-commerce websites, I recommend having a full width page and no distractions, because people can always find additional information if they scroll around, but it takes their attention away from distractions and increases conversions. So I highly recommend minimizing distractions, because high conversions on an online store is part of that equation. The next step to making an e-commerce website is for me to show you how to make a contact page, so that your customers can contact you via phone or email, or what we're going to do is create a contact form. And WooCommerce and WordPress makes it really easy to set up a contact form on your online store. So I'm going to show you how to make that now. If you hover over pages and click on Add New, you'll be able to add a new page. You'll get this blank template. So let's put Contact Us in the title. Let's make this a full width template if we don't want a sidebar, but if you do want a sidebar, leave it as default template. And then let me just check something. Okay, just click publish for now. When you open up that page, it will be a new page with that particular URL which you can edit as well. For example, we can just make it contact. That already existed, so that's why it became contact 2, but you get the point. And that's now a blank page. So I'm going to show you how to create a form for your e-commerce website. So go back in here and go to plugins and go to add new. We're going to add a plugin that lets us set up a form on our website. Search for a plugin called WP Forms. It's the one over here by WP Forms. Got more than 1 million active installations. So what you'll need to do is click on install and then activate that. Okay, cool. Once you do that and it's activated, you'll see WP Forms in the left-hand sidebar. Just go to add new. You've got a couple of different choices. You can start with a blank form, or you can start with a simple contact form and then manipulate that. So we'll do that because it's a bit easier. So we'll create a simple contact form. You can see it's already pre-built with name, first name and last name, email, and a comment or a message. If you click on any of the fields, you'll see the field options tab open up, and you'll be able to configure the label and also if it's a mandatory field or not. So to add new fields, we can add these new fields in. These fields here are a premium feature that you need to pay for, which you don't need to pay for actually. If you want to pay for them, you can. But for example, it's got phone as a premium feature, so you can't drag it in. But what you can do is just use a single line text area. Click on that, change that label to phone, and let's say that's a required field. Advanced options, you can see some options if you need that, but it's not essential. Field options, okay, required, perfect. We can also rearrange the order in which the fields appear by dragging and dropping like that. And then once you've got the fields in there, go to settings. The general settings, that form's name, so let's just say that's called our contact form. You don't have to put in a description, that's just for your information. The submit button text, let's say send message. Okay, then let's go to notifications. We want to leave notifications on. Notifications are the emails that you'll receive when someone fills out the form. So send to email address. You want it to send to your email address. Now this is picking up from your WordPress admin email address, and to be super clear what that is, if you go down to settings and general, that's that email address over here. So you can leave it, so you can leave that in there, or you can simply just put in your own email address. And you can also separate multiple email addresses with a comma if you wanted to send to multiple people. Email subject, this is the subject line of the email that you'll receive when someone fills it out. From name, that is the name of the person that fills out the form, and it's already pre-configured to attach to that field. And if you want to check, just click on that there, and you can click on the name field and you'll see that's the same one. So we'll just get rid of that. From email, currently it's the admin email, but you don't want that. You don't want the from email to be your email address. You want the from email to be the field that's captured for the person filling in the details. So again, let's click on this show smart tags over here, and the available fields are email. We want that. So let's get rid of admin email. You'll see all of this work in a second. Reply to is that, yep, we want to reply to the person's email address, and the message that you'll receive is all the fields in the message. Then go to confirmation. You can show a confirmation message, or you can redirect them to a confirmation page if you would like, but let's keep it simple for now. Let's send a confirmation message, for example, thank you for contacting us. We'll get back in touch with you shortly or within 1 to 2 working days. And then when you've done all of that, click save. After you've saved your form, we've set up all of the config, we've set up the fields, it's all saved. Next, what you need to do is click the embed button. You need to copy everything in this field over here, everything including the brackets. So right click, copy that. Now, go back into your dashboard, your WordPress dashboard. Find the contact page that you set up at the beginning of this section. Now you can just paste that code in there. It doesn't matter if you paste it in the visual tab or the text tab in this instance, just paste it in there. Perfect. And let's click update. I'll show you what that looks like. Not sure why it has a featured image. I'm going to remove that. Perfect, there you go. There's your contact form. In addition to that, you can also put in your details. For example, just go to the area or give yourself some space above that code and say phone, email, address. So you can put in your own details. And then when you save that, there you go, it all reflects on the front end. Now let's try that out. From a customer's point of view, they'll do that. They'll click the send message button and they will see that message. Thanks for contacting us. We'll be back in touch with you, which we all configured. And from your point of view, importantly, you'll get this email in your inbox, which I've just opened up with all the details in it. And then when you click reply, it will reply directly to that person's email address. So there you go, a really easy way to create a contact form on your online store, and WordPress made it really easy to build that. But if you have any questions about that, let me know. The next step in creating your e-commerce website is I want to show you how you can create an awesome photo gallery to display all of your products in a nice looking image gallery for your customers to view. So I'll show you how to build that very easily. So go to pages and let's add a new page. Let's call it something interesting like product inspiration. I'm assuming here that you've got some of your images already, and I'm just going to show you how to actually set up the image gallery. So what you need to do is click on Add Media. Actually, first make the template a full width template, and then click Add Media. Make sure that Create Gallery is checked. Then you can click here to select files from your computer and you can upload them to your media library, or you can select files or images that are already sitting in your media library. I've got my gallery files ready on my computer and here they are. So all I'm going to do is just select all of them and drag them across so they all get uploaded into my media library. This should take a few minutes potentially based on how large your image files are. So once all of the images are uploaded, you need to click on the Create a New Gallery button down here. Link to change that to the media file. Now what you can do on this page here is you can caption the image, or you can leave that blank, and you can also drag and drop the images like this to rearrange the order in which the image gallery is presented. And then click Insert. Actually, before you do that, columns. At the moment it's set to 3 columns. I think 4 columns will look nice because we've got 12 images. It'll be 4 times 3. So let's do that. It's completely up to you, by the way, and then click on Insert Gallery. Now hit publish and we'll see what that page looks like. We're not done yet, but I'll show you what it looks like now. There we go. We've got our page called Product Inspiration. When somebody clicks on an image, right now it's popping up into this other page, and that's not a great experience because people can't click anywhere. They'll have to go back and go to another image. So what I'm going to show you next is how to have it so that when people click on an image, it pops up into this awesome looking image slider and people can browse left and right just like an image gallery. To do that, go back into your dashboard, go to your plugins area and add a new plugin. We're going to add a plugin called Simple Lightbox. This is the one here. Just install and activate that, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to configure anything with this particular plugin. It'll just work directly out of the box. Cool. Now let's refresh this page. And now let's click on one of the images and you'll see it's loading up, and perfect. We have this nice gallery effect now where a user can browse through your product images without actually being thrown off your store site. And they can close this. It's perfect. Now maybe this doesn't look right. Maybe you want 5 columns by 2, or it really depends on what your needs are. Or maybe you want to add some captions or change the order. All you need to do is go back to Edit Page. Let that thing load, then click there, click on the pencil icon, and that will allow you to make those customizations. So let me just show you what this looks like. Perfect. So I hope that all makes sense. If you have any questions, please do ask. Now we need to customize your e-commerce site's menu over here. What we want to do is customize that so that perhaps you can add your product categories and also your contact area, but basically I'll show you how to customize it in any way you want. We can also add perhaps your photo gallery to this menu here. To do that, just go back into your dashboard, go to Appearance and then click on Menus. Make sure from the drop down over here that top menu, primary menu, is selected. So what you're looking at here is a drag and drop interface. If you drag and drop these items here and then click Save, that will reflect on the front end of your store when you refresh. So basically the way to do this is to add new menu items, and you can do that in a number of ways. You'll see a section over here which has pages. You can check a couple of pages, for example, My Account or Checkout or Cart, and you can click Add to Menu. Similarly, you can also add posts if you've created any, and you can add some custom links if you've created any. These categories are not the product categories, so they won't end up there, But what I want to do is add some product category custom links. So what I'm going to do is go to products and open the categories in a new tab. So I've still got this here. Each category, if you click on view, if you open view in a new tab for each one of your product categories, you'll see the products assigned to that category, and each one will have a different URL. So this one is for clothing. Let's copy the clothing product category link, go back to the menu and paste it in the URL of the custom link and call it clothing. Add to menu. Let's do the same for gadgets. And travel. So all I'm doing is adding a new menu item for each one of our categories. Now if you save it just like that, what's going to happen is those items will appear in a straight line. It won't look very nice. But what we want to do is add a drop-down menu. So we want to add a drop-down menu. Let's say we want to add an item called product. So custom links, I'll add a custom link without a URL. I'm just going to put a hashtag there and call it products. Add that to menu. Now watch this next part closely. It's very cool and intuitive. So I'm going to drag products up second place after products. Now I'm going to drag the clothing under products, but not directly under. Do it so that it's indented just like that. That makes it a sub item of the parent item above it. Similarly, gadgets in line with clothing and travel. So we've got the parent level item and we've got sub items now. If we indent these even further, this will become a sub item of that item there. So we don't want to do that. But now what this is going to do is create a menu structure. Perhaps we want to get rid of about. Perhaps we want a contact page link in there. It's already there, but I'm just showing you how to do that. And we can also rename that to contact. So check this out. So we've got our home, we've got products with the nice looking drop down menu. So now people can go to your product section and now narrow down to any one of the categories of products that you offer. You can actually structure this in any way you want. So you can actually put individual products under this menu if you want. You just need to add the individual links to those product pages as a custom menu, as a custom link in the menu, I mean. Anything you don't want, remove. Cart is already over here, so you probably don't want cart. You probably do want my account. So that's my suggestion. If you don't have a blog, get rid of that. And I'm just going to clean that up now. I'll get rid of the second contact. I'll get rid of cart because we've got that. My account will keep because people will need that. We'll update it. One more thing I'll add is the product inspiration page. That's our photo gallery. So I'll add that to the menu. And let's just call that inspiration. Save. So there you go. There's a cool way to adjust or customize your e-commerce website's menu in any way you want. Beautiful looking drop down there, and your users can link to the relevant sections quite easily. If you have any questions about that, let me know, but it's quite intuitive, so I think you should find that quite easy to use. I think it'll be helpful to walk you through the WooCommerce settings, because your e-com store can be configured in a few different ways. So if you go to WooCommerce and settings, you'll get to this screen here. You can update your address, You can update your selling locations and shipping locations to restrict those options to your customers. You can enable tax rates, enable the use of coupons, which I showed you a second earlier, and also set your base currency in which you're selling in. In the products tab, you've got your shop page URL, so that's automatically set up. We won't change that. And you can enable or disable reviews and ratings. In the tax tab, you can set your tax rates based on where you're living and what your tax rates are in your country or your state. In the shipping tab, you can configure what locations you will ship to and also what rates you will charge for those countries. Payments I'll go through in the section just after this one, so I won't go through that now. Accounts and privacy. You can allow customers to check out without creating an account on your e-com store. I actually recommend that you disable that because it makes people create an account where they can see what they've purchased and then track the status of that. Account creation, you've got some options around that. People will be able to create an account and log into their My Account page. So people, in this case, I want them to be able to create an account on the My Account page. It's good user experience. And I also want to allow people to create an account during checkout. Whenever you save something, just click Save Changes. There's also some personal data retention rules here, which is really good because it helps with rules pertaining to data privacy, especially if you live in the EU. That can come in handy. So definitely consider that there. The emails tab, this basically lists every email that your customer will receive. So here, this is the email upon creating a new order, and you can manage that email by clicking on the button here. You can create an email for a cancel order, a failed order, and all of these other things. And if you want to disable any of those, just uncheck, just deselect by going into the manage area and disabling it by clicking that checkbox there. So it's really up to you how you want to set the rules around that for your customers. Every e-com store is different, and you need to do what's best for yours and what works for your customers. You don't want to spam them, but you do want to keep them updated and also enable them to come back to your site if they, for example, added products to their cart but cancelled checkout. And the advanced tab is things to do with the page setup. All of this is standard. We won't change any of that because it's all pre-configured and it all looks good. But if you do have a bit of an advanced knowledge and you go through this and want to make some tweaks and edits, this is where you'll refer to change the engine behind WooCommerce and its settings. Now, one of the cool pieces of functionality to add to your online store is the use of a coupon, so you can make and advertise various promotions. And you can do that by going to WooCommerce, clicking on coupons. Create your first coupon. And you can enter any coupon code you want. For example, 10 off, and this description is for you to know. So 10% off particular items, and you can go down here and choose what you want that coupon to do. So discount type, you can have a fixed cart discount, so that's a fixed dollar amount. You can have a percentage discount and a fixed product discount. So in this case, I'm going to say a percentage discount. The coupon amount is the value of that particular discount. So it's 10 in this instance. That is not related to this. Just to be clear, I'm going to put in here discounted, and coupon amount is 10. What it's going to do is give 10% off. You can enter an expiry date if you would like. usage restrictions, you can have your customers make a minimum spend. So a popular thing in retail stores is to have a minimum spend. Only if they achieve that minimum spend, for example, $50, is that coupon then available. You can exclude sale items if items are already on sale. Then you can add which products you want to be eligible for this particular coupon, and you can exclude products from being eligible for this coupon. You can add entire product categories, for example, everything in the travel category, or you can exclude certain categories. So as you can see, all of this logic is actually inbuilt into WooCommerce, and it makes running your online store so efficient and easy for you. You can also apply usage limits. So how many times can a person use the coupon? It can be unlimited, or you can make it once, twice, for example. You can limit usage to a number of items, and you can limit usage per user. Sorry, that one is a limit per coupon. So for example, this coupon can only be used once. Most coupons should be unlimited because you want everyone to be able to use them, but you might place a limit on each person only being able to use it once. After you've done all that, just click the update button. And I'll show you how that works for your customers. So if I just open my store in a new window, so I'm not logged in. And I'll go to the travel section because I applied that coupon to the travel category. I'll add this bag to cart. View my cart. And then here I can enter the coupon code. The coupon code was discounted. So this is the coupon code that you would give to your customers, for example, in your promotions. Let's apply that coupon. And as it says here, the minimum spend for the coupon is $50. And that's perfect because we did set that to a minimum spend of 50. So that works perfectly. Now let's just update that quantity to 2 just so we can demonstrate. Apply that coupon again. Now it's applied successfully. So I can see here that the subtotal is 90, which is minus 10%. And your customer now can proceed to checkout and do what they need to do. So yep, that coupon is working perfectly. And you can customize the logic behind the coupon using these usage limits, using the usage restriction, and the products or the categories that it applies to. Hope that's useful. And think outside the box for this. Maybe you want to do a Christmas promotion or a Valentine's Day promotion, and you can give your customers a coupon for use between particular dates and give them a percentage off or a dollar amount off above a minimum spend. So that's what I suggest. Use it to your advantage. And if you have any questions about that, please do ask in the comments of this video. One of the easiest ways to maximize the money-making ability of your e-commerce store is to take advantage of upselling and cross-selling of products. So if you go to stores like Amazon.com, you'll see that they upsell and cross-sell very effectively. So for example, let me show you something. If I click on this thing here, it also shows me this area here, frequently bought together. This is known as a cross-sell. If I'm buying a coffee machine, they'll often try and cross-sell me the actual capsules with that machine. So it's a way to increase the revenue from your existing customer base. So you can do that easily in your e-commerce store as well using WooCommerce. If you go into products and all products, let's find an example. So let's say this traveler bag over here. Let's say a customer is looking at that product there. Now an example of an upsell could be a more expensive traveler bag if you have one, or a leather bag for lack of a better example. And an example of a cross-sell is, what do travelers use often when they're traveling? And perhaps that is a set of headphones. So if we go into the traveler bag area, if you scroll down and go to the section called Link Products, you've got a section here to add products that you want to upsell and cross-sell. So what you need to do is search for a product. Now, if you look at your product listing here, when you hover over your products, you'll see a product ID. So if I want to have a leather bag as an upsell, I can start typing in leather bag, and just to make sure, I can check that the ID of the product is 71. So let's type that in, leather bag. WooCommerce will search through your store, and that's the one, item number 71. Now, cross-sell, perhaps people that are traveling also use headphones and they make a good combo together. So perhaps people that are buying a traveling bag will also purchase the headphones on their checkout. So let's put in headphones. Item number 72. Yep, that's correct. Now, you don't have to stick to one product. You can add multiple products to each one of these things here. So let's update that and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, I'm going to open that product in a new window. So say I'm a customer, I'm looking at this traveler bag, I'm reading about it. I come down here, and you may also like. Now that's perfect. By adding it as a cross-sell, this is now showing up in a new section called You May Also Like. And if you add further products, they'll show up right here. So it's a perfect way to get people to buy more stuff. Now if I say, let's add to cart. Okay, and then I'll go to my cart. Check this out. You may also be interested in a pair of headphones. How good is that? On the way to the checkout, the customer will be presented with an option to cross-sell them with another accessory that is related to the one they're buying. So that's perfect. You should really use these features to your advantage to generate more revenue wherever possible. It's one of my favorite features to use, so please don't underestimate the power of this. Now to one of the most important parts of your e-commerce website, and that is accepting payments. To configure your payments, just go to WooCommerce and then Settings. When we initially set up WooCommerce, we did add a payment method, but I'm going to show you how to configure or change what we've done there. So go to the Payments tab. There's a couple of different ways that I recommend. The first one is PayPal checkout. That's probably the easiest way to integrate payments to your online store. So if you click on Manage there, and I'm just going to open up my store in a new window so I can show you a couple of things. Okay, so enable PayPal checkout. You can change the title if you want. It's the live environment. This is the email that is associated with your PayPal account. So if you don't have PayPal, just go to paypal.com, sign up. The way PayPal works is there's no numbers or anything like that. You get paid based on the email address associated with that account. So that gets entered in there. You can enter your brand name in here, some logos and stuff like that. But the important part is down here. At the moment, if I go to a particular product, I can see there's two options, PayPal and PayPal credit. To be honest, we don't want this PayPal credit. It's a bit of a distraction. So you can actually get rid of it by disabling it here. You can also say you want to unhide the credit card payment method because not everyone has PayPal to pay with. But the beauty of PayPal is people can use their credit cards to make payment. So I can get rid of that. And then there's a few more options here that you can look at in your own time. So that's, in a nutshell, PayPal checkout. It's very simple. The way it connects to PayPal is your email address. So that's enabled. If I go back to the payment section, there's another PayPal in here. It's called PayPal Standard. And the difference is that PayPal Standard does a few more things. Firstly, it does allow credit card payments as well. Yep. It also links to your PayPal via your email address. So we'll enable that for now. You can do a sandbox environment, which is a test environment to test your payments and your payment processes before actually going live with it. And the advantage to PayPal standard is this thing here, API credentials. You can also process refunds via PayPal. And if you process refunds via PayPal, or if you process them via your e-commerce site, they will both be in sync. The way to do that is go into your PayPal account, click on the settings icon here in the top right, then go to Selling Tools. You then go to API Access and click Update. Scroll down and go to the MVP SOAP API integration. Click Manage. There are 3 bits of information here: the API username, password, and signature. If I click one of these, it will show the actual information. I won't do that because this information is private. Same for you. Don't share that information with anyone. But what you need to do is click on each one and copy and paste each one of those in these fields here. So it's showing, I'm just blurring my screen. I won't paste it in because, to be honest, I shouldn't be showing this to anyone. It's all private information. But what you do then is press Done, save the changes here, and that will actually connect your PayPal with your e-commerce store so that you can process refunds. So it's quite a versatile method of payment. Now you'll notice that because I updated the previous screen and removed PayPal credit, when I update that, that's now gone. There's a PayPal buy now, so I'll click on that. Your customers will have the option of paying via PayPal or, like most people, paying via credit or debit card. So they'll click on that button there. They'll enter all of their details. They'll hit continue, and you'll receive a notification that your product has been sold and you'll be able to ship to them. And that money will then be received in your PayPal account, like I showed you at the very beginning of this video. So that's how to set up PayPal and other payments. Other options you have are things like Stripe, but we haven't integrated that at the moment. Direct bank transfer and cash on delivery, if that's something you want to accept. So that's how you set up payments using WooCommerce. If you have any questions around that, please let me know. But a lot of the questions around this may actually be with PayPal, so you might want to check with them. But once it's integrated, it's pretty streamlined and efficient, and you'll find it very easy to manage and receive payments through PayPal, which you'll then transfer into your own bank account. Simple as that. Congratulations if you've made it this far. You've saved yourself about $10,000 with agencies when you're making an e-commerce website, otherwise known as an online store. We've helped you to make this one in about a couple of hours. Of course, it'll take you some time to add your products and all of that stuff, but it works seamlessly and it's a beautiful experience for your customers. If you have any questions, please do ask in the comments below and we'll be happy to help you out. But please, we ask you to try and share this video on YouTube and on social media by clicking the share button and hitting the thumbs up button, because that's the only way that this will get out there. If we can help you with anything, we'll be more than happy to do so. So please get in touch. And until then, we'll catch you in the next video.